The Vextai had ruled the galaxy for 3 millennia, and its dominion was built on a simple principle: hunt or be hunted. Standing 9 feet tall with obsidian claws that could slice through titanium and reflexes faster than most species could even perceive, the Vextai were evolution's perfect predators. Their ships prowled the void between stars, seeking new worlds to conquer, new species to add to their collection of trophies. Commander Zarketh had personally brought 17 different civilizations to their knees. The crystalline Vorthak had tried to hide in their fortress worlds of living diamond. The gaseous Nephilim had attempted to scatter across entire nebulae. The machine consciousness of the eternal grid had calculated 1,000,000 different defense scenarios. All had fallen to the relentless hunt of the Vextai. Now, as his dreadnought emerged from hyperspace above the third planet of an unremarkable yellow star, Zarketh felt the familiar thrill of anticipation. His scouts had reported a species called humans, bipedal, relatively weak, no natural weapons to speak of. It would be over quickly. "Initiate standard hunting protocol," Zarketh commanded, his voice a low growl that resonated through the bridge. "Disable their defenses, then begin the culling." The humans' response was unexpected. Instead of the usual panicked communications or desperate surrender broadcasts, they sent a single transmission. A human male appeared on the view screen, unremarkable in every way. Brown hair, average height by their standards, wearing simple clothing. Most peculiar of all, he was smiling. "Greetings," the human said, his voice calm and friendly. "I'm Captain Sarah Chen's diplomatic envoy, Marcus Webb. We've been expecting you." Zarketh's pupils dilated with interest. "Expecting them? You will surrender your world, or we will take it by force. Your choice is irrelevant. Only how many of your kind die in the process." The human's smile widened. "Oh, I don't think surrender will be necessary, but I appreciate the offer. Tell you what, why don't you come down to the surface? I'd like to show you something." 24 hours later, Zarketh found himself standing in what the humans called a forest, accompanied by his elite hunting pack. Trees stretched overhead like green monuments, and the air carried scents he'd never encountered. The human, Marcus, stood nearby, leaning casually on a wooden stick, apparently called a walking staff. "This is your great defense?" Zarketh snarled, his claws extending. "Trees and sticks?" "Not exactly," Marcus replied, his tone conversational. "Though you're not wrong about the sticks being important. Tell me, Commander, in all your hunting across the galaxy, have you ever encountered persistence predators?" Before Zarketh could respond, Marcus began walking deeper into the forest. Not running, walking, just walking at a steady, unhurried pace. Confused but intrigued, Zarketh followed with his pack. This was clearly some sort of ritual before the real fight began. He would indulge the human's strange customs before the inevitable slaughter. Hours passed. Marcus kept walking, occasionally pointing out interesting plants or animals, chatting about Earth's ecosystem as if they were old friends on a nature hike. He showed no signs of fatigue, fear, or urgency. The Vextai, meanwhile, began to feel odd. Their species had evolved for short, explosive hunts, ambush predators who struck fast and hard. This endless walking through varied terrain was foreign to their physiology. Zarketh's breathing became labored. His pack members began to lag behind. "Fascinating thing about humans," Marcus continued, seemingly oblivious to the growing distress of his guests. "We're not the fastest, strongest, or toughest species on our planet, but we're really, really good at just keeping going. Our ancestors used to hunt mammoth by walking them to death, just following behind, never stopping until the massive creatures collapsed from exhaustion. Another hour passed, then another. The Vextai, apex predators of 17 worlds, found themselves struggling to keep pace with a human carrying a stick who was talking about the migration patterns of butterflies. "The thing is," Marcus said, pausing to take a sip from his water bottle before offering it to Zarketh, who was too proud to accept. "Predator and prey relationships are more complex than they appear. You've spent 3,000 years hunting species who tried to hide, fight, or run away fast. But what do you do when your prey just doesn't stop?" Zarketh's legs felt like liquid metal. His pack was spread out behind them, some having collapsed entirely. The human appeared completely fresh, still smiling, that infuriating smile. "This is impossible," Zarketh gasped. "Oh, this?" Marcus gestured around them. This is just a light walk. I haven't even started jogging yet. Though I suppose I should mention, we've been walking in a circle for the last 6 hours. Your ship is only about 2 miles that way. He pointed with his stick. The revelation hit Zarketh like a plasma bolt. They could have returned to the ship at any time. This human had been playing with them, the way a cat plays with mice. But here's the really interesting part, Marcus continued, settling down on a fallen log and patting the space beside him. Humans don't just persistence hunt. We also form pack bonds with our prey. Some of our closest relationships on Earth started as predator-prey dynamics. Wolves became dogs, wildcats became house cats. We have this weird tendency to look at something that's trying to kill us and think, I bet we could be friends. Zarketh, his legs finally giving out, found himself sitting beside the human on the log. His pride demanded he attack, but his body simply wouldn't respond. So here's my proposition, Marcus said, offering the water bottle again. This time Zarketh accepted it gratefully. Your people are impressive hunters, really top-tier stuff, but the galaxy's a big place and there are threats out there bigger than any of us. Things lurking in dark space that make your Vextai look like house cats. Marcus pulled a small device from his pocket, some sort of holographic projector. Images flickered to life, showing massive, writhing shapes emerging from between dimensions, consuming entire star systems. The Devourers, Marcus explained. They're heading this way and they'll be here within the century. Now we humans have a choice. We could fight each other, waste our time and energy on territorial disputes. Or, he smiled that smile again, we could team up. Humans are really good at making friends with predators and you Vextai are really good at hunting. Seems like a natural partnership. Zarketh stared at the holographic horrors, then at the human beside him, a species that had just demonstrated they could hunt the hunters, offering alliance instead of dominance. You would trust us? Zarketh asked, his voice barely a whisper. After everything we've done? Marcus shrugged. Humans are persistent in more ways than one. We're persistent in our optimism too. Besides, every good pack needs an alpha predator. He grinned. We'll teach you endurance hunting. You teach us how to use those claws effectively. The Devourers won't know what hit them. As the sun set through the forest canopy, painting everything in gold and green, Zarketh made a decision that would reshape galactic history. The greatest predator species in known space extended a clawed hand to the persistence hunter with a stick and a smile. Partners? Marcus asked. Partners, Zarketh agreed. And in the growing darkness between stars, ancient things that fed on civilizations began to sense something new stirring in the galaxy. Something that refused to run, refused to hide, and absolutely refused to give up. Something that turned predators into allies and prey into friends. Something human.